What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Curtain to Curtain. My name is Phoenix Cloudin.
I am Lazuli.
We are back in the seas of our journey through musical theater. and quite a doozy.
Oh yeah.
Quite a pair that we got for you guys today. Um, Super interestingly excited about this one because at least these two. So we are talking Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, and of course Chicago.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but super big on Chicago.
Yes.
Sort of one of my first musical experiences was Chicago. Um, Cats, however, was a complete
Yeah.
knew nothing of Cats.
I knew very little about cats, but I have a friend who really likes cats.
hmm
So she told me some stuff, and that was about it.
Yeah, I was like, obviously, so this musical has stood the test of time. I believe it's over
It's
20
from
years.
the 80s.
Yeah, so it's been around for a minute.
It's old.
It's old. And it's I don't know if it's still running, but it was running for a long time.
It was.
Yeah, it
To
is.
the point that it even got 2 movies.
Yeah.
One of
So
them, a lot more in the public knowing space than the other.
mhm. Yeah. So
That's 2019.
Cats is the fifth longest running Broadway show and the seventh longest West End show,
Oof.
which is crazy because
Yeah.
that there's
Mhm.
that many shows that ran longer, which is insane. But
Yeah.
okay. um, yeah, Cats started the mega musical phenomenon,
Yes.
which is kind of crazy to me that this is considered a mega musical, but I guess it's because it
It had a lot of production.
it had a lot of production in it, and
Because, like, you got all these people that not only are they acting and singing and dancing, they gotta wear these hot ass, probably costumes and shit. And they gotta learn all these different dance styles and everything. Like, no, I get it. I get it. I get it. This musical is kind of sort of fucking crazy.
yeah, a little bit. And so it's based on this was new to me. I found out that it was based on this book,
Oh, yeah.
poems that T.S. Eliot wrote about cats. Is just Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It's a collection of poetry that T.S. Eliot wrote in the 1930s, and somehow Andrew Lloyd Webber got a hold of this and started composing songs based off of this book, which is like in your head, it's got to be one of the weirdest things.
Yeah,
ever.
it's not the first time that, like, I shouldn't say it's not the first time. It's not the last time that this has happened, because obviously we've got, like, musicals based on this, like, history and stuff, and, like, Great Comet is based on, like, a 70-page section in War and Peace. Not even the entire book, just a 70-page section of it. Like, so,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's all about cats wanting to be reborn, essentially. It's all of them fighting over being reborn. Which I think is an interesting concept, that, like, they're all in, like, purgatory, essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
It's such a weird concept.
Such a weird concept, but for me, it kind of works. Like I said, it's not a favorite of mine, but I see the appeal of it, and
I definitely
I see the appeal of it and everything, and I watched Cats 2019, and I'm of the minority. I actually liked Cats 2019. I liked it. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting and everything. Not a top 5 musical by any means. It's not me saying, "Oh yeah, this is the shit right here." But I see why people like it.
Okay.
In the sense of not the visuals of it.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals are its own other separate thing, and I agree that they maybe should have just went with costumes instead of CGI.
Yeah.
But whatever. I see the appeal of the music and
Mm.
the storyline of the musical and the characters and everything. All the other aspects of the musical, I see the
Right.
appeal of.
Yeah, and that's what was coming across to me as well when I was listening to it, is like you get the sense that this was intended to be a visual, way
Yeah.
more of a visual
Mhm.
um show. Like
Yes.
there's so many aspects of it that you really can't glean from the songs, and
Mhm.
you really need
You need the visuals.
you
And
need the
while
performances. Yeah.
Cats 2019 looks weird, I was one of the few people that was able to look past all the weird CGI
Hmm.
and just genuinely take in the actors' performances and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like obviously some of the actor choices are weird, like James Corden.
That kind of goes without saying.
And Taylor Swift was a choice. I mean, she does her song fine, so like it's whatever. I know you like Taylor Swift, so like I'm not gonna go on my soapbox about her, about my opinions on her or anything like that, because I don't want to rain on your parade or anything like that. That's not fair to people. But her song was fine. I thought her voice worked well for that type of song, you know, it's a little saucy song or whatever. But anyways, I see the appeal of it, and I would love to see I actually think I would love to see a stage rendition of it.
Of Cats?
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a stage rendition of it.
You know, same.
Like it's not something that like I'm not gonna go out of my way of, but if I were to get season tickets to like Playhouse Square and Cats just happened to be in the lineup, I'd probably go. You know?
and like, because as I was listening to it, I was like, how on earth did this thing run so long? Because it's so weird. But
I think it's the weirdness.
yeah, I was like, as I was like thinking about it, I was like, you know, if I was sitting in a dark theater and watching this, I would actually be like enthralled and mesmerized.
Especially
Like,
because like the movie, while obviously doesn't get the visuals correct in regards to the costumes, but like it gets everything else right. I feel like obviously there is some scaling issues and stuff, but I think it gets the vibe of like the bombastic nature of like probably what the sets would have looked like and everything, and just like I don't know. I'm a Cats 2019 defender, I guess. is what we're coming to. Is that I like the movie. I have listened to the actual musical. Don't worry, I'm listening to it right now. But, like I like it. I'm sorry, I like it.
to each their own, man. To each their own.
It. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's not getting added to any playlists. Like I said, it's not it's not something that I would go out of my way to listen to. Be like, oh yeah, I want to listen to Cats today.
Yeah.
But, like, I get it. Like, it's such an odd musical that I think it probably became such a big musical because of how weird it was. Like, people were just like, what the fuck is this thing? And went to go see it.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity. And we're just like, man, this shit's fucking weird. But also, cool.
Like, I think that's what it is like, it's an out of the box concept, right? Such an out of the box concept. And then it progressively gets weirder. like, you know, and we're basically just telling these stories of these different cats.
Yeah.
But
and
it's so like over the top. It's so bombastic. It's so extreme. You're like,
yeah, and I think that's probably what they were trying to go for with the movie was the extremeness and bombastic nature of it. I think they went a little too far. They went a little too far. But I see the vision, you know? I see what they were trying to go for and everything. And just, yeah, it's fucking weird, but like, I like it. And I think Victoria is a really fun, like, protagonist and everything, because she's just as confused as we are. She doesn't know what's going on, and I like that. I like that, and it fits for this musical because, like, I feel like if we were thrown in following somebody who did know what was going on, this wouldn't hit the same because everybody would be confused and everything. But instead, we have like this innocent girly pop who just wants to dance. She's just like, I just want to dance. I'm just here to dance.
You can tell she's new. She's
new, and I like her character. I think her character is cool. I think Old Deuteronomy as a concept is really neat. I love Grisabella. I think that Jennifer Hudson did awesome as Grisabella in the movie. And I like that they brought in Judi Dench as old. No. My friend told me this. Judi Dench is Old Deuteronomy in the movie, and it's neat because she was originally going to be Grisabella in the original Broadway cast, but tore her ACL and couldn't perform.
Right.
And I think that's such a sweet way to include her. I think that's really sweet and really cool, and just. This is a nice musical. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like Jason Derulo, but you know what? They casted him correctly because his character is supposed to be fucking obnoxious, and he is.
Yeah. So originally, Grisabella was played by Elaine Page, which, absolutely perfect. Yeah, love that. And killer voice.
Yes.
And the way she nails Memory.
Memory's such a beautiful song.
Yeah, Memory's great. Like, honestly, Memory's the best song on here. Like, it is.
I know that some of the songs in the movie aren't included in the original, like, movie. But I think that they add another layer to Memory and another layer to, like, Grisabella and Victoria that's really interesting. Because in the movie, they add, like, a little sprinkle of Memory throughout the, like, movie and everything, and, like, Victoria kind of sort of being like, come on.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here. You want, you. And everything. You. And all of this fun dress. And just wants to hang out with her, and she's just like, yeah, I get that y'all kicked her out because she was hanging out with McCavity, but, like... She's still one of us. Like, right. I don't get why we're ostracizing her. That's fucked up, you know?
And it is. And, like, the whole story surrounding Grisabella is messed up, right?
It is very messed up.
It's a terrible thing. It's like, okay, so, like, all of these Jellicle cats, they come together to have this Jellicle ball where one of them gets selected to be resurrected. And I don't know if this is clarified in the movie. I don't know if they come back as another cat or if they come back.
They come back as another cat.
As another cat. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, seems weird, but whatever. So yeah, it's just so strange.
I get it.
Right.
It's a very strange musical, but I guess I'm just weird like that, and I think it's an interesting concept.
I do think it's an interesting concept.
I think it's an interesting concept. Right. I think it's fun. I think this is my first Android Lloyd Webber musical, I believe, unless we've gone over another one. And I'm just
we haven't. We haven't.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's my first. Because I haven't seen Phantom of the Opera. I haven't seen Les Mis. Like, I haven't seen any of his others. So this is my first, like, taste of Andrew Lloyd Webber's stuff. Yeah, I know, it's a very interesting introduction.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I know that Bad Cinderella is bad, and that's about
aptly named.
That's about it with Andrew Lloyd Webber. I know that one's bad, and that one obviously isn't on the list because it's bad, and I think we can all agree that it's bad, and we don't need to discuss it. But wasn't it like the shortest running musical, like, on Broadway?
I think so. Like, probably like of all time. I think.
I think it only ran for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, something crazy.
Something crazy short.
Something crazy short.
But yeah. Anyways, I Memory's a great song. The score in here is interesting. I don't think I'm a big fan of the score.
I
Surprisingly.
am not actually.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think because I think it's an interesting combination of like acoustic instruments and like synths, but like
mhm,
I would do it differently. Personally, I would do it differently. And I think that it like I know it's from the 80s, but I don't
mhm,
think it's doing anything really big and innovative with
mhm.
its score. It kind of just it's a musical score. I think that they probably could have done more with like motifs and stuff. I'm a whore
Mhm.
for motifs. I love me a good musical leitmotif and everything. Love me that stuff. Good shit. But like it's fine. But lyrics are also outside of like Memory and a couple other songs that I can't think of off the top of my head. The
Uh,
lyrics outside of those like few songs are like fine. I think they captured the cats' energy fine. They
yes.
captured their personalities. But that's about it. There's not really much. I think the concept of Jellicle is cats is weird. Because I remember I was live texting my friend who likes cats as I was watching the movie, and I was like, "Okay, so what the fuck's a Jellicle cat?" Like, I know I just like watched the whole like beginning sequence that explains it, but like, what is a Jellicle cat? I'm
Yeah.
confused. Like,
It. Yeah. I don't even. I still don't know. But
yeah,
like
but
like
like,
you're
yeah.
you're right about the score though. Like the score is very kind of droll. Is
Mm-hmm.
how I would describe it. And there's a lot of the songs really have this sameness to them
Yeah.
where I'm
Like,
like,
despite them capturing vastly different characters,
right,
they
yeah,
all kind of sort of sound the
sound
same.
the same. Like they're
Yeah.
the way that they're structured, where you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like I've been listening to the same song over and over for
Yeah.
at least like half of this musical.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think
which
that's
is
probably where the visuals probably helps out because then you don't
yes,
notice it as much and
exactly.
everything. Because I didn't notice it too badly on the movie, but
Hmm.
like I noticed it pretty badly in my listen through.
Yeah,
They just kind of all blend
blend
together
together.
outside of like I said outside of a couple of like notable songs. Like I
Yeah.
think McCavity's not
McCavity's song.
yeah, the not
Um,
the McCavity song, but the song that plays before he steal like when I forget what the cat's name, but when Taylor Swift's character shows up, her song.
I don't
I
know if
think
that's in
her
the original.
it might maybe it is an original. Oh, uh
Yeah,
I
for
think maybe
me,
it is McCavity's song. It
yeah,
probably is McCavity's song,
like
but
for
like,
me,
yeah,
like
because it's like his intro. But
yeah,
like his song's different. Memory's obviously different. Um, but outside of that,
yeah. Like
yeah,
I liked Rum Tum Tugger. I thought that one thought that one was pretty cool.
fucking hate Rum Tum Tugger. That's Jason Derulo's character. I fucking hate him.
Bad casting in that one, but like his song, I
I
dig.
shouldn't. No, no, no. It's not bad. It's bad casting because it's Jason Derulo, but it's good casting in the sense that he captures the annoyance and how this character is supposed to be really fucking annoying
Yeah.
and just like I'm better than everyone else. So like I'm that guy, you know, like so he captures that energy. So it's good casting that they got Jason Derulo, but bad casting because it's fucking Jason Derulo. But yeah, like there are some standout songs of like
Like
Memory
that, and
and stuff.
that's why it stands out to me though, is
Mhm.
because it's such a brash song that's very
Yeah.
different from everyone else's, which is sort of
Mhm.
just kind of just explanatory, I
Yeah.
guess, and that's where it's like that's where that sameness comes from. So I was
Yeah.
like, I just couldn't get
Yeah,
past
no, I
that.
agree. I think
But
let me look at the soundtrack real quick so I can figure out what songs were added
mhm,
to the movie. so I can figure out what's the song that I like from it. Beautiful Ghosts.
Yeah, that's an added one.
It's a good song because it's supposed to tie into memory and everything, and it's just basically being like, like we're all just here. We're all dead. Like, why do we care so much about all these factions and stuff? Like, it's a nice song, and I like its inclusion and everything, and I think it's really nice, and I think it's a great way to like tie in Grisabella into the story more, because outside of that, like in the music, like in the original musical, like she has her song, and then she kind of sort of just hangs out until memory. And I think that Beautiful Ghosts is a good way to incorporate her more and stuff. And also, like I said, you get tidbits of memory. You don't hear memory in its fullness in Beautiful Ghosts, but you get little tidbits and little sprinkles of it that I think is a good inclusion. And just adds more depth to it. But yeah, I think the musical's fine.
Yeah, it was just the sameness of a lot of the songs was a noticeable distraction.
Yeah.
The story of Grisabella, I love.
Good.
The story of pretty much everything else
Yeah.
could do without.
Like, yeah, like the entire time I was kind of like, I know McCavity's supposed to be a piece of shit and everything, but like, why is he a piece of shit? Like
I would have loved.
Like, I get that he's like cheating because he wants to be reborn and
Right.
everything, but
Yeah.
like, why not just be like, why are you cheating? Like, we don't get an explanation for why he's cheating.
Yeah.
Is it like a thing of like he's tried years on years on years and
Exactly.
hasn't gotten to be reborn,
Same.
and that's why
Like-
he's cheating?
Like,
we don't know.
This is what I would have preferred, right? Because so much of the show is all of these different cats telling their stories.
Yeah.
And that's cool, that's fine. But what I would have preferred is maybe limit that to 2 or 3.
Yeah, and have it be more of a focused story.
Have it be more of a focus on one of them and what happens and how they decide to get to that point.
Or even do the accursed thing of like make it slightly longer to include that stuff.
Or that, you know what I'm saying?
Like just something, because I think, or like included in the music and stuff, because like we know that McCavity's like, he's a magician, he does all this spooky stuff, spooky stuff, he wants to be reborn, blah 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 blah. But like, why not include an additional song that's like a McCavity solo, that's him being like, yeah, because we don't get a solo from him, because McCavity's song isn't even sung by him,
right?
It's sung by somebody else.
Exactly. Like, imagine
IMO's a waste on Idris Elba in the movie. But
imagine if this was a story between Rum Tum Tugger, McCavity, Gus, and Grisabella. Right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine it was that, and then it's
all
like,
the other cats like we get the intros from the other cats, but it's not a full song.
It's not. It's not 80% of the rest of the music.
Yeah, like it's like kind of like how Lin-Manuel Miranda introduces characters and stuff.
Right.
Specifically in My Shot, when he's introducing the other three my brain's blanking on their fucking names, Lafayette and the other 3. But like, it does a good way of introducing these characters and being like, here's their archetypes, here's who they are and everything. Obviously not as quick as how they do it in My Shot, because it's kind of quick in there, but like something similar, or like in The Heights,
Yeah. In The Heights, he gets it done in one song. Like, it's a 6-minute song, but at least he gets it done.
It gets it done, so that way we can move on to like actual plot of like, oh, this is why we get more in-depth story on Grisabella and why she was kicked out of the Jellicle Cat, tribe. Why McCavity's cheating and stuff.
Right.
Why he, like
what you just described is brilliant. Imagine if in The Heights was instead of us having that 6-minute song in the beginning that introduces all the characters, and then we get a story of what these characters are going through and what it ultimately leads to. Instead of that, if it was just a musical
A
about
soapbox musical.
right, it's just like,
Oh god.
and now here's Abuelas. Now
here's Vanessa.
Here's Vanessa's, and
like oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Like Android Lloyd Webber, I see the vision, please. You were so close.
You're so close. Like
so close.
It really just needed a little bit more focus. And I know it's crazy saying this, as it's one of the longest running shows, and it made billions of dollars. It clearly works for a certain audience.
Yeah.
It was just like...
But it's just missing. It's just missing some stuff.
And that's
okay.
Yeah. And like, I just think it would have been better, a little bit better, if it was a more focused story instead of just an introduction of different characters. Or maybe not. Maybe people really love that particular thing about it, because it does stand out. There aren't very many musicals like that. So cool, bro. What happened?
What's your rating?
I'm going with a solid C for Cats on this one.
I am going to give it a B-.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has potential, and I think it's a solid musical, and I see the appeal of it, and I personally enjoy it, but it's lacking.
It's lacking.
It's lacking in some departments.
Like if I'm only taking like one, maybe two songs entirely from your musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's get some razzle dazzle in here.
Let's get some razzle dazzle. Let's both reach for the gun real quick.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
And all that jazz, you know what I mean?
Chicago. As Phoenix said, it was one of his first introductions to musical theater. It was one of my first introductions to like live musical theater. Obviously, I've listened to musicals in the past because of Disney and everything with High School Musical. But like, this was the first musical that I saw live in person, and because it was my high school did it.
Nice.
And it was something that my high school wanted to do for the longest time. We couldn't get the rights for until the year we did. But funnily enough, because we don't normally get the rights for it, we also got the rights for a different musical, Memphis. So that year we had two musicals. I didn't see Memphis, but I saw Chicago, and it was a very good performance. It was like it was my junior year, so a lot of the seniors were like leaving, and they wanted to do a really good job, and they did a very good job. They like swept, this is a Cleveland thing, but they like swept the Dazzle Award that year.
Let's go.
Swept through the Dazzles that year. Whoo! We got, I think it was like best pit, a few best actors. Like
nice.
we swept the Dazzles.
8 on the Dazzles. Let's go.
And it was so funny because the day that the Dazzle judges came was the day that our actor for the news reporter guy, whose name I'm so bad at remembering names for some fucking reason today. The news reporter guy, he forgot the line that introduces they both reach for the gun. And it's not the first time he's done something like that. Apparently the year before when we did In the Heights, he forgot Lights Up and Washington Heights Up. Somehow. But anyways, Chicago's a great musical. I love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
When we were talking about, I think way back when we were even talking about doing this show,
one of the ones we were like, oh yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, like we were like, I don't even know how we're gonna be objective on this one.
Incredibly biased.
Incredibly biased on this one. Because yeah, like you said, it's one of the first ones that that introduced me to musical theater. It's one of the ones I have seen live so many times, and the movie. God, I love the movie.
The movie's
I
awesome.
rewatched that movie so many freaking times. It's ridiculous. I love everything about that movie.
Yeah. It's just it's an awesome, just a great show.
It's a great show. It's Candor and Ebb. I mean, Bob Fosse on the book and the choreography.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the ones that surpassed Cats as one of the longest running shows in
that
Broadway.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah. So,
It's just
so I don't know. You know, if you're watching this show, I would assume that you're familiar with the story of Chicago.
Yeah.
But
so, if in case you're not, it's about a girly pop who does a bit of murder.
There's a bit of murder.
And goes to jail.
Yeah.
Right before because she wants to be a star, and her sister, I forget. Oopsies.
Husband and sister are two very different.
It's two different things. She murders somebody. So
She murdered her lover.
Yes, that's what it was.
Murdered her lover.
Her partner. She murdered her partner. Goes to jail. We then meet the other jailers, jail ladies, and Cell Block Tango, one of the best set pieces, song, yeah, good shit right there. And in that we meet our other main character, who has also done murder.
She
a lot of murder in this musical.
She did a little bit of murder.
She did a little bit of murder, and we find out that these two that she also was a star, and murdered her.
She murdered her husband and sister.
Yes. She murdered her husband and sister because they were fucking. And she did not like that.
She wasn't a fan.
So she murdered both of them. Then it follows our other main character, Roxy Hart, as she's like trying to get out of jail because she just wants to be a star and stuff. And through that, her and Velma, thank you. I was like, God damn it, my brain's just like Raina, because that's the name of the actor. That's the name of the actor from the musical for the high school.
Oh my god.
Velma end up getting out of jail for a hot second and do their little fun show thing, and then they get put back in jail. And yeah, and we see some bits of like the court case and everything, and how she got bailed out, but then was then accused guilty. So yeah.
So basically, back in the 1920s, a woman committing a crime was like
a big deal.
A big deal. Like it was huge business for it. And so their whole goal is that they can use their infamy really as criminals to project them into stardom. And it just shows the level of corruption that exists not only in our legal system, but also in our media and in our entertainment. Because it's like everybody is pretty sure that these women committed this crime.
Yeah.
But like they get a great lawyer.
Yeah.
They get a great lawyer who spins it, and they end up getting off, and they use it to propel their fame.
Yeah.
And it's such a hilarious story. I don't realize how indignant it is of the way it indicts political and class and all of society in that sense, where it's like we are looking at these things and saying this is actually wrong, but we're letting people get away with it.
We're letting people get away with it. It's very funny that we're talking about this now because O.J. Simpson just died.
Yeah.
So now you guys know when we're recording this. A day or two after O.J. died.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it's very telling because like we even still do that type of thing now. Like there are people who should not be famous and like have all of this money and yet they do.
Yeah. And
Because
because you know, because
we are all
the
kind of
system
terrible.
isn't perfect. That's all that is. The system isn't perfect. It's got flaws in it, and people who know and study those flaws use them to their advantage.
Yep.
That's all there is.
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
But this musical, man, the score
Oh my God,
is
so good.
gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
It's such a good inclusion to do jazz because
Yes.
everybody's like, oh, jazz.
Right, but they
Jazz.
do it. They do it.
But
in
they
such a
do
way.
it in such a good way,
Mm-hmm.
in a way that works with the like point of the musical and everything. Because it's the 1920s and
Exactly.
everything.
Like it's crazy to me because it's like I'm not sure when this was written, but like yeah, it's set in 1924. It was written in 1975, but it's set in 1924. And the way that they blend not just jazz but also the vaudeville style, cabaret style, all into this, and it's such a cool concept, especially like what we said about Cats, about it being a visual medium. I think the same is true for Chicago.
The same is very true.
Like you can listen to this one and get the story, but
you need to watch.
You need to watch it, and just
you need to watch the movie, and you have to watch the movie, but you also need to find a good cast.
Yes.
For this.
Yeah. Because
like if you're gonna watch it live, because like if you get a bad cast, I'm sorry.
It can mess everything up.
It can kill it, but like. It's yeah,
because like seeing this on stage was crazy.
It
was really crazy, especially when you get to Cell Block Tango.
Oh yeah, Cell Block Tango is such a gorgeous like. It's such a good song, like visually and like acoustically, like sonically, like it's just good. Cell Block Tango, and there's a reason why it's so popular.
Because it's crazy to me. Like when I first saw this, when it started at what is it? Pop.
Yeah. Six.
Squish.
Cicero. Lip shit.
I was like, I never heard a song start like that, where it's like, you're just giving us a word, pop, stick, squish. I'm like, okay, what is this? And then it builds, and it keeps saying it over and over, and it just builds the intrigue. And then eventually all of them tell this story, how it ties into those words. And I'm like,
this is another good example of how to introduce characters.
Brilliant. And many
another
of those
good way to introduce characters.
Like, and many of those don't come back at all.
No.
I think only one or two come back. So it's like, we got a full story in one song about four of the characters whom we'll never see again the rest of this musical. But it works so well for this song.
It works wonderfully. But like, that's a good set piece. I think that Cellophane, which I know is now a haha, kind of sort of a bit of a meme now. It's a good song.
It's a banger.
It's a really sweet song. This man just wants his wife back.
Right.
Like...
that was the thing too that I that just made me fall in love with this thing, was I was like, why are all these songs so good? Like they're so freaking good.
They're so good.
And I'm just like, man, like,
and like just make really good, compelling characters that I'm like rooting for. Like, I'm rooting for Roxy to be a piece of shit. I'm rooting for Velma to be a piece of shit. I'm rooting for Roxy's husband to just get his girly pop back. Like, I'm rooting for all of these people,
man,
and everything. Like, it's
there's so many good ones. There's so many good ones.
Musical.
I mean, one of the ones that I adore the most is probably "We Both Reach for the Gun."
Understandable, Understandable, yes, it's perfectly understandable.
Oh,
Just
yes.
because, like, stylized, it's so freaking cool, but also, like, musically, it's really cool. Lyrically, it's really, like,
Yeah.
amazing. But, like, that's one of those ones where I'm like, this is why you have to see it,
Mm-hmm.
because visually, it's
It's
such a
such a
intricate
good, yeah. There's a
vibe to it.
lot going on.
Yeah. And, like, and I'll be honest, you can tell that people have stolen from it. like you see
Definitely.
it in a lot of other musicals now is like,
Mhm.
oh, you're I see your inspiration
Mhm.
there. Is
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
we both reach for the gun because it's such a just a cool way to do something. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
as a song, like if you're like, man, I really want to do a song where there's like this super fast part and maybe got two voices talking over each other,
Mhm.
something like that. Like that concept is built in from we
Yeah.
both reach for the gun, and it's
Yeah.
such a homer,
It's
man.
such a good, yeah. It's just I don't think we could sing our praises enough for this musical.
No,
They were cooking when they made this musical because
cooking, cooking,
yeah.
and
It's just it's good. I I don't know what else to tell you. The score is good, the lyrics are good, characters are good, like
it's amazing to me because
it's
also like as a like you could have all of that, right? Great score, great music,
mhm.
great characters, but to me it's not just the story, but also what the story says.
Yeah.
That I'm like, damn, like I would like if I were, around in 1975 when
Mhm.
this came out, like I would have been one of the reasons why this was one of the longest running Broadway shows. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like it's so rich in
Mhm.
just its messaging and its story. I'm like, that's crazy to me
Yeah.
how good this is. And you take the story from this time period that even then was 50 years prior. Right?
Right.
And you made something so like timeless.
Yeah.
That to me is what kills it not kills it, but like sets it up for me is that it's timeless. It doesn't matter if it's the
Mhm.
70s, the 20s, the 90s. Right now, like this story has so much truth to it.
Yeah.
And and I love that it's female led.
Yes.
like
Yes.
which is also like really kind of crazy because most of the musicals that you think of have male leads, right?
Yeah.
It's the ones that are celebrated
Mhm.
and venerated the most.
Yeah, but this one it's like, yeah, we've got male leads in here, but like focus is on Roxy and Velma.
Yeah, and their story is quite compelling. like,
Yes.
yeah,
Like I mean, if I was in that time period and I wanted to be famous that bad,
and that's
I
another
get it.
lesson.
I
It's
get
like
it.
it's the
I
lesson of
get
what
I get
what
it.
would you do for fame?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh,
Mhm.
and like it's the perfect show for a high school to put on.
Yes.
Like, it's the
Yes.
perfect show for that
Mhm.
because it's like all the lessons that you could get from this show,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It
It-
just yeah. We
it-
could sing our praises all day about this
all
musical.
all day, bro. Is that freaking good? I'm probably
It's
listen to it
that
as soon as we're
awesome.
done.
I'm listening to it right now and I'm on Cell Block Tango and I'm having a great time.
But yeah, man, all the bias in the world, but come on.
Sorry. No regret.
No, sorry, not sorry, but yeah, I'm sorry. This thing's a banger on
Yeah.
every banger level. Um,
It's good. What can I
yeah,
tell you?
like what I said, like one of my first musicals. So like, I literally the very first musical I ever was introduced to was Rent. So I'm
Yeah.
like right out of
Fair.
the gate, fire,
Mhm.
and then I follow it up with Chicago.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
like I was like I remember way back when I said I think it was for Be More Chill. where I said I really hope that this isn't someone's first musical. Because that'll completely just you're done.
You're done. You don't want to do this. But this is a good
But
first
if you've never done it, you get Chicago first right out of the gate, you're gonna be here forever.
You're gonna be stuck here.
You're gonna be a theater kid forever.
Yeah.
So congratulations. All right, final rating. Even though
A plus.
Go.
S. Actually, you know what? No, not S. This is S tier.
This is
the
S
S
tier.
tier.
This is the S tier right here, guys.
S
We
tier.
got our first.
And it's our first S tier. Yup.
Congratulations,
Chicago.
S tier. First time on curtain to curtain.
Yep. Next week. We've got another fire musical. We got Come From Away.
Woo!
Another good musical.
Woo-hoo!
And we got Company.
Oh shit! Ooh, it's about to be fired. Oh my goodness.
I am very heavily biased towards Come From Away, by the way, guys.
Kind of the same.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Sorry.
So it's gonna be a fun time next time.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm a sea dog.
The C's are
the C's are killing.
C's are doing all right. C's are doing all right, man. Oh man. But yeah. So C for me for Cats, B- from Lazuli on Cats, S tier. S tier for Chicago. And we got 2 more coming up. That's gonna be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a super blast.
I haven't even heard Company, but you being excited about it makes me excited about it.
I'm so excited, especially because I think I'll be seeing it next month. Like I'll be seeing it live. So I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, man, should be really fun. All right. Well, we are going to get out of here now. We'll see you guys next time on Curtain to Curtain. My name is Phoenix Clouden.
I am Lazuli.
And we are Then Your Adjacent Theater Kids. And we are out.
Just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all there jazz.
Skidoo.